And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
My Happy Farm is a game from 5th Street Games. They've done Farmageddon and some other games. This one was on Kickstarter, I believe. But this one caught my attention when it first came out because it's all about elongating animals, feeding animals and making them longer. Okay, I think the theme is hilarious, but that doesn't mean, a hilarious theme does not necessarily mean it makes a good game. So let's see if the game is any good right now. Alrighty, it seems like there's a lot of pieces in the game, and there is, but it's not that complicated. What players are going to be doing is each player has 4 animals. They have a sad pig, a sad rabbit, a sad cow, and a sad sheep. So everyone's sad. You also start with some money. You start with your barn over here, and you'll start with a couple seed cards. There's different seed cards, radishes and hay and carrots and clover, and you're going to be trying to feed your animals. Now, on your turn, we'll go around a table. Players are going to get 2 different actions. At the very beginning of the game, their seeds will grow. But I'm going to come back to that. At the beginning of each turn, your seeds will grow. But before that happens, let's talk about the actions you can take on your turn. You can do each action once, and you have 6 different actions that you can choose from. You can buy seed cards. There's seed cards in the middle, and you simply pay the cost to the bank that's shown on that card. Take that card in your hand. That card is replaced from the top of the deck. If all the cards here are the same, they're wiped. You know, for example, if they're all radishes, for some reason no one wants radishes, so on and so forth. When you buy seed cards, you can put them in your hand. Another thing you do is you can plant seed cards from your hand. So you can plant 1 or 2 seed cards of any type, or 3 seed cards that are the same. So I could plant a radish and a hay, or I could plant 3 hay. That's up to me. When I plant, I place them down here in the spring section. Now, let's go back to the beginning of your turn. At the beginning of your turn, everything in your barnyard goes up by 1. So they come up here. It is now summer. And then the following turn, they'll go up to autumn. And if I don't do anything about them, then they will go away. However, another action you can take is you can harvest your seed cards. When you harvest seed cards, you can harvest them from summer or autumn only. And in summer, hay and radishes will not harvest. You can only harvest them in the autumn. So you have to wait once you plant them, you then have to wait 2 turns before you can harvest them. When you harvest cards, you'll simply take them and place them into your barn. And your barn can only ever have 6 cards that are stored there at any given point in time. Another action you can take on your turn is you can sell cards from your barn. You can sell as many as you would like. When you sell these cards from your barn, you will get the money that it cost on them. Which brings me back to something I said incorrectly earlier on. When you buy the cards from the middle of the table, they only cost 1 coin each. They all cost 1 coin. So go ahead and buy cards from the middle of the table for 1 coin each. But some of the cards are more valuable when you sell them. Like carrots are 3, you can sell the hay later on for 4 coins and radishes for 5. You can also simply take a coin as an action. But your main action that you want to do with your cards is you'll want to trade in cards in your barn to feed one of your animals. For example, I want to feed my cow. I need 2 hay, 2 clover, and 2 radishes. If they are in my barn, I would discard all of them. I would take that cow card, and I would feed my cow. My cow is now a longer cow, and since I fed him, he's no longer sad. He's happy. So he's now worth 8 points. Before, he was worth -5. So you can see that feeding all your animals is a really big deal. However, at the same time, as you feed them the different things, you can feed them and make one of your animals very long. See, there's super long rabbit, who is worth 9 points, the 3 plus the 2 plus the 4. And that's basically it. You have 2 actions that you can take on each turn. You can buy these for 1 coin each. You can plant them. You can harvest them. You can sell them for money. You can feed animals with them. By the way, these cards at the top here are also replaced. as the game progresses, or you can simply take a coin as an action. The game will end when I can no longer refill these top cards. Everyone gets one final turn, and then the game is over. You are going to add up all the points that you have. If you don't feed your animals at all, you will lose points from them, and then 3 bonus points to the person who has the longest animal of each type. There's no tie bonus, so if you tie, you don't get any. But if I have the longest rabbit, which might be possible here with this one, then I could get 3 points. Whoever has the most points is the winner. If there's a tie there, whoever has fed the most animals is the winner. If it's still a tie, well, they were kind of slackish and didn't have another tiebreaker, which is sad. But that's how you play. First of all, we should say that the artwork in this game, I think, is very well done. I got a special pack of 4 cards where I had a llama and a few other odd animals, basically just for switching them out, putting different characters in them, and that's fine. But just looking at the pig stretching out is fun. But like I said, a fun theme does not make a good game. However, I can say this is a very good game. In fact, this is a great Gameway game. I mean, great. I was really pleased by this one. A lot more than I thought I would. In fact, I'm seriously considering adding it to my collection because this is a game I can bring out that people get caught up in the theme, but they'll have a good time playing. You really have a lot of different options on your turn. You look at these different sections, you're saying, okay, I want to feed those, so these are the ones I need to get. What am I going to do? I'm going to buy these. I'm going to plant them. You're trying to time the planting, the harvesting, so you can harvest. When you harvest one section, so you want to try to time that so that you can harvest as much as you can at one given point. And you got to be careful that you don't accidentally leave yourself out without actions, and so you plant at stuff that harvests and goes away, or it's time to harvest it and you don't have any room in your barn for it. So there's a lot of different features to the game, but I mean, the humorous theme of making your animals longer is pretty interesting, but at the same time, the gameplay gives you a lot of different options, but they're quick and easy options. It's not like you sit there and go, what should I do now? No. And so that's why I call this game a gateway game. This is a very strong family-style game. And it comes in a small box, a small package, but there's a good punch here. Very pleased with this one. 2 to 4 players. I wouldn't have minded if it had gone to 5, although that might make the game a little bit longer than it needed to be. But it says 8 plus, 30 to 45 minutes. That's certainly true. You might think by looking at the cover, oh, that's not, that's not for me. But it really does work well as a game. And so I found a lot of enjoyment in playing this. I really can't think of any flaws off the top of my head. It just plays very smoothly. The only thing I can think of is that it won't be deep and complicated enough for most people, but I don't care. I mean, what were you expecting anyway? So, big thumbs up for me, My Happy Farm. A light but strategic game about making animals fat and long. You certainly should try to feed your other animals, because if you think about it, even adding a section that's maybe 3 points to an animal is a swing of 8 points, because -5 changing to +3 is a big deal. But at the same time, it's so tempting to make that long pig. All that bacon.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut that door!
Yeah?